Hello everyone, welcome back to the course Power System Operation and Control. In the previous videos, we have discussed about different control mechanisms which are there in the system or which are there in the different sections of the system, which will take care about the different parameters of the power system. So in this video lecture, we will discuss about the significance of reactive power in a power system. Let us start with the introduction part of this. We always in practice to reduce the reactive power to improve the system efficiency. So with the help of different elements or mechanisms, we are going to reduce the reactive power by which we can improve the power system efficiency. These are acceptable at some levels. If the system is purely inductive or capacitive, it may cause some problem in electrical system. Alternating systems supply or consume two kind of power, which is a real and reactive power. So one side we are reducing the reactive power to improvise the system efficiency. On the other end, we cannot increase the reactive power beyond its certain level, because if circuit is becomes purely inductive circuit, or if the circuit is becomes purely capacitive circuit, it causes some problem in electrical systems, such as overheating of electrical equipments or some sort of aging problems we will have in the system if the reactive power magnitude is going to increase beyond its level. So as all we know that the there are two kinds of power. One is real power and other is reactive power. Real power accomplishes useful work, while reactive power supports the voltage that must be controlled for the system reliability. So as we know that real power always useful power, which will actually utilized for a work that is what expected by and load, whereas reactive power will support the voltage profile, which is most important as far as the system reliability is concerned. Therefore, always it is important to control the voltage profile of the system. Reactive power has profound effect on the security of the system because it affects voltage throughout the system. So as reactive power and voltage, they're having very strong relationship. So whenever there is a deficit of reactive power in the system, it will be threatening to the security of the system in any part of the power system. Let us see some important concepts or importance of reactive power. The voltage control in an electrical power system is important for proper operation for electrical system equipments to prevent damage such as overheating of generators, motors, to reduce transmission losses and to maintain the ability of the system to withstand, as well to prevent the voltage collapse events. So voltage control is important as far as the expected operation of the electrical power system is concerned. This is just to prevent some sort of damage to the electrical components or equipments, such as overheating of generators, motors, and to reduce the transmission losses. Whenever there is an increase in voltage, there will be an increase in reactive power, or vice versa. Therefore, whenever there is an increase in reactive power, the losses may get increase, which will once again cause a sort of overheating problem to the entire system elements. As well, whenever there is a deficit amount of or deficit of reactive power, voltage magnitude may get decrease, and it leads to events such as a voltage collapse, in which there is a chain of events which will cause or which will impact to reset the entire power system. Decreasing reactive power causing voltage to fall, while increasing it causing the voltage to rise. A voltage collapse may be occur when the system try to serve much more load than the voltage which can support. So whenever there is excessive amount of load in the system, we can see the events like voltage collapse, which will entirely needs to be reset the power system. When reactive power supply lower voltage, as voltage drop, current must increase to maintain the power supply, causing system to consume more reactive power and the voltage drop further. If the current increases too much, transmission lines go offline, overloading other lines and potentially cause cascading failures, which is a sort of a voltage collapse event. If the voltage drops too low, some generators will disconnect automatically to prevent the discontinuity or to protect themselves. The voltage collapse occurs when an increase in load or less generation or transmission facilities causes dropping voltage, which cause a further reduction in reactive power from the capacitor and line charging. And still, these are further voltage reductions. If voltage reduction continues, these will cause additional elements to trip, leading further reduction in the voltage and loss of the loads. The result in these entire progressive and uncontrollable declines in voltage is that the system unable to provide the reactive power required supplying the reactive power demands. So in this particular slide, what are the causes of voltage collapse and how step by step it will impact onto the system continuity has been given. Then we will talk about the necessary to control the voltage and the reactive power. Voltage control and reactive power management are two aspects of a single activity that both supports reliability and facilitate commercial transaction across transmission network. So as we know that it is a sort of two sides of a coin, that is voltage and reactive power. Therefore, they are going to support the reliability of the system and they will facilitate commercial transaction across transmission networks. On an alternating current power system, voltage is controlled by managing production and absorption of reactive power. There are three reasons why it is necessary to manage reactive power and voltage control. The first reason is both consumers and power system equipments are designed to operate within a range of voltages, usually within plus minus 5% of the nominal voltage. At low voltages, many types of equipment perform very poorly. For example, light bulbs provides less illumination. Induction motors can overheat and can be damaged, and some electronic equipments will not operate at all. High voltages can damage equipments and shorten their lifetime. So this is the impact of less magnitude of voltage as well as high magnitude of voltage. So it is very much essential or necessary to keep the magnitude of voltage within the tolerable limits or within the rated values. Second, reactive power consumes transmission and generation resources. To maximize the amount of real power that can be transferred across a congested transmission interface, reactive power flows must be minimized. Similarly, a reactive power production can limit a generator's real power capability. And third is moving reactive power on the transmission system incurs real power losses. Both capacity and energy must be supplied to replace these losses. So this is why it needs us to control the voltage and the reactive power. Voltage control is complicated by some additional factors, and those factors are: first, the transmission system itself is a nonlinear consumer of reactive power. Depending on the system loading, at very light loading condition, the system generates reactive power that must be absorbed, while at very heavy loading, the system consumes a large amount of reactive power that must be replaced. The system's reactive power requirements also depends on generation and transmission configuration. Consequently, system reactive requirements vary in time as load levels and load as well generation pattern changes. The bulk power system is composed of many pieces of equipments, any one of which can fail at any time. Therefore, the system is designed to withstand the loss of any single piece of equipment and to continue operating without impacting any customers. That is, the system is designed to withstand a single contingency. The loss of generator or a major transmission line can have the compounding effect of reducing the reactive power supply and at the same time reconfiguring flows such that the system is consuming additional reactive power. And third, at least a portion of the reactive supply must be capable of responding quickly to changing reactive power demands and to maintain the acceptable voltage throughout the system. Thus, just as an electrical system requires real power reserves to respond to contingencies, so too it must maintain reactive power reserves. So as much there is an importance to the active power in the system, that much sort of importance it needs us to give to have appropriate values of reactive power in the system to maintain the system reliability as well as the system stability. Loads can also be both real and reactive. The reactive portion of the load could be served from the transmission system. Reactive loads incur more voltage drop and reactive losses in the transmission system than do similar size with the real loads. System operation has three objectives when managing reactive power and voltage. The first objective is it must maintain adequate voltage throughout the transmission and distribution system for both current and contingency condition. Contingency condition is the condition which is very much unexpected to the system and which may disturb the system is nothing but a sort of contingency condition. The second objective to manage reactive power and voltage is to seek to minimize congestion of real power flows. So to maintain the appropriate values of real power flows, it needs us to manage the reactive power and the voltage. And third objective is it seeks to minimize the real power losses. So with the help of voltage profile as well as reactive power, we are going to control or we are going to minimize the real power losses. So these are what some of the objectives for managing or controlling the reactive power and voltages. Let's see basic concept of reactive power. Why we need the reactive power. Active power is the energy supplied to run a motor, heat a home, or illuminate an electric light bulb, whereas a reactive power provides the important function of regulating the voltage. If voltage on the system is not high enough, active power cannot be supplied. Reactive power is used to provide the voltage levels necessary for active power to do useful work. Reactive power is essential to move active power through the transmission and the distribution system to the consumer. Reactive power is required to maintain the voltage to deliver the active power through the transmission lines. Motor loads and the other load requires reactive power to convert the flow of electrons into useful work. When there is not enough reactive power, the voltage sags down and it is not possible to push the power demanded by the load through the lines. The reactive power is a byproduct of AC system. Let's see how. Transformers, transmission lines, and motors requires reactive power. Electric motors need reactive power to produce magnetic field for their operation. Transformers and transmission lines introduces inductance as well as reactances. These both are going to oppose the flow of current, that is inductance, as well the resistance. It must raise the voltage higher to push the power through the inductance of the lines, and unless capacitance is introduced to offset the inductance. So the system itself is going to produce the reactive power, and to control the reactive power magnitude, it needs us to take some efforts or some sort of control actions by which with the reactive power magnitude we can control the voltage profile. How voltage controlled by the reactive power? Voltages are controlled by providing sufficient reactive power control margin to supply needs through shunt capacitors and reactor compensations, dynamic compensation, proper voltage schedule of generation. Voltages are controlled by predicting and correcting reactive power demand from the loads. Reactive power and power factor. Reactive power is present when the voltage and current are not in phase. In the resistive circuit, the phase difference in between voltage and current is zero. Therefore, in the resistive circuit, reactive power is absent. In case of inductive circuit or capacitive circuit, there is a presence of reactive power in which one waveform leads the other, the phase angle not equal to zero, power factor less than unity. Is measured in volt amperes reactive, that is reactive power is measured in volt ampere reactive VAR. It is produced when the current waveform leads voltage waveform or vice versa. That means in either case, whenever the circuit is inductive circuit, current lags the voltage, or whenever the circuit is capacitive circuit, current leads the voltage. In the both cases, the reactive power is present. Let us see limitations of reactive power. Reactive power does not travel very far. Means if we have equipment at one end of the system, and if we want to control a voltage of that element or equipment, and for to control the voltage, if we place the equipment which will compensate reactive power on the other end of the system, it will not work, or it will not give us a solution. That is what we are requiring. Therefore, if you want to control the reactive power, it needs us to install the reactive power control equipment near to that particular point at which we would like to control the voltage or the reactive power. It is usually necessary to produce it close to the location where it is needed. A supplier or source close to the location of the need is in a much better position to provide reactive power versus one that is located far from the location of the need. Reactive power supplies are closely tied to the ability to deliver real or reactive power.